This is the GMT-Master II Pepsi, the most hyped and talked about watch of 2024. I wore this watch for a week and I'm going to let you know my thoughts on wearing it as a daily. So this particular watch here is the 40mm iconic GMT-Master II Pepsi. It comes with the black dial and black dial only with the luminous baton and dot markers. It also comes with the absolutely stunning blue and red ceramic bezel. We've seen changes with this watch over the years where it's gone from what they would class as a Mark I bezel. For you guys that don't know, Mark I was around 2018, short run, and had a very pastel colour, so it was very sort of purpley and pinky, very light in colour. This is the new one. This actually is a 2021 model. It is one that's still currently produced by Rolex. It is one that's extremely popular in the current market and coveted by you guys. Historically, this has always been a popular watch since it was re-released in 2018, and something that in the current market is proving extremely hard to get. The first thing I liked about it, so I've actually worn this watch for a full week. I've worn it literally for work, I've worn it for weekends and outside of work, and I've not worn a Jubilee bracelet watch for that length of time, full stop. Me personally, I've always been an oyster bracelet guy. This particular one being on the Jubilee, I wasn't sure I would like it, and I can honestly say immediately when I put it on the wrist, I absolutely loved this watch. I didn't think I was going to like it. I didn't think I was going to like it because of the red and blue bezel. This particular mark here has the slightly darker red and the slightly darker blue, which was very appealing for me. It was enough to look at and it made me smile. But also it wasn't too bright because I thought red notoriously is a bright colour for a man to wear. And I could really see as soon as I put it on the wrist, it was something that I was going to enjoy wearing. Comfort-wise, the Jubilee bracelet, as you can see there, it's got smaller links than the oyster. It certainly for me was something that when I put it on, immediately felt comfort. But this is something when you put on the Jubilee, you can just feel straight away it articulates around your wrist. Very, very comfortable, really, really pleasing to the eye. I honestly thought it was probably going to be a bit too busy for me, and when I actually wore it, I thought, you know what it is, I really like the Jubilee bracelet. I get why you guys out there are buying this watch. Size-wise, 40mm again, wasn't sure how that would compare to the Blueberry that I wore, and also to my daily, which is my Pikachu. Again, I really liked it. I think it's the case shape for me, with having the squared shoulders, it's having a nice polished side. It's got a different shape and feel to the other sports watches that I've worn over the years. And for me personally, I really like the aesthetics of that watch. I think it's a really well-balanced watch. And for me, it didn't feel small, and that was one of my concerns. It definitely didn't feel that. And it certainly was one that when I looked at it on the wrist, it was really pleasing. And no matter what I wore with this watch, no whether it was jeans and a t-shirt or my general day-to-day clothes, it absolutely looked fantastic. I can honestly say it really is a smart looking watch. The other thing I really liked about this particular watch is the weight. You know, it's heavy enough to make you feel like you're wearing, you know, a special watch, but also it's not too heavy. Obviously, notoriously I wear the Oyster Flex rubber strap that I've got on my wrist here, but for me, it was like a really comfortable weight. It never felt like I wasn't wearing a watch, and I never felt like it was too heavy. And with it being the 40mm in stainless steel, I never felt like it was rubbing in the back of my hand, where you'd get some of the bigger and especially heavy watches that rub in your hand. This one certainly didn't give me that feeling, and for me personally, it was just so comfortable. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is what I actually didn't like about the watch, and I honestly have to say there's absolutely nothing. And I'm surprised to say that, considering all the watches I've owned, all the watches I've had come through LWC Boutique, all the watches that I've worn personally, all the watches that I've had the opportunity to wear over the years that have come in, it's a watch I've never actually worn before, the Pepsi. It's just something I was never really drawn to. There's other models I've chosen over the years, and I can honestly say there's no reason for me not to like. There's absolutely nothing on this watch that I do not like. I like the size, I like the comfort, I like the looks, and genuinely when I've been wearing it, it has made me smile. It has made me look at it and think, you know what it is, that is such a nice watch. And there's not one thing on this watch, even considering the price point in the current market. I know there's all the hype in the current market about it's going to get discontinued this March. You know, honestly, who knows? For you guys that have bought, I genuinely hope it does. But for me, it's just one of those watches where I can see why you guys buy it, and I can see why you actually keep it and hopefully wear them, which is what the watch industry is all about. And there's nothing at all that I do not like about this watch. So let's talk about other models to rival this. Well, there's not many. Certainly there are other Jubilee models. We've got Datejust, which I've got here on the Jubilee, just to show you. That's certainly, you know, obviously a Jubilee bracelet model. You know, it's a different category. We've got obviously the dress watch, we've got the sports professional. We've also got, the Sky Dweller as well. We've got a Jubilee Sky. This again, best dial in this one, by the way, the blue. We've got those side by side, you know, different type of client to buy that to that one. But again, aesthetic wise, they're two completely different looking watches. This one's got the 18 karat white gold fluted. This one's got the blue and red ceramic. So yeah, there is one, and it is the GMT-Master II. No surprise, the Batgirl, the one that comes on the Jubilee bracelet. We don't actually have one in at LWC, we sold our last one last week. But yeah, I mean, the blue and black on the Batgirl, I've always been a fan of that watch, by the way, and I actually used to really enjoy it on the Oyster, the original, the OG of that particular model. And when you look at them side by side, and I've had plenty, you know, over the years, I've always sort of leant more towards the Batgirl. But for me personally, after wearing this and seeing obviously how special it is on the wrist, you know, there's nothing to rival this watch in the category. And there's about a £3,000–4,000 difference now in the current market, this being obviously the premium one of the two. So yeah, really, in its field, there's nothing to beat that watch. And for you guys that don't know, I've got a super cool fact to show you about the GMT-Master II Pepsi. Obviously, you can see this bezel is the blue and red ceramic bezel. And what you don't know is when you put it under a UV light, which I'm going to show you guys here, the whole bezel is actually all red. Hopefully you guys can see that there. It's like all a beautiful cherry red colour, which is why obviously historically Rolex have the manufacturing problems. What most people think is it's actually two different colours, which it is to the eye, but the whole bezel is actually red and it's coated in blue. And if you put it under UV, you can see that it's all this beautiful cherry red colour. So historically, Rolex have had the problems with the manufacturing. We all know that. It's well documented online. I've done videos on it as well. If you don't know, check it out on my channel. This is why it's rumoured to be discontinued this year. And hopefully, once they sort it, they'll be able to reach the unbelievable new reference GMT Master Coke. So the all-important question, did it make me smile? Yes. Would I change it for my Pikachu? Absolutely not. Would I buy it and put into my collection? 1,000,000% yes. I absolutely love this watch, and at some point I will buy my own to put in my own collection. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you should watch this video next.